Hello everyone. So in our previous lecture, we have covered about the drainage system and the river system of India. Now in this chapter, we will start the topic of the monsoon and we'll see the phenomena of monsoon and all the related facts which are included in the monsoon phenomena. Okay, so let's start this lecture. First of all, there are two words which we can see here. First is monsoon and the second one, first is the climate and the second one is the monsoon. Okay, so remember I had told you the difference between the weather and the climate. Okay, so let's start with this. Weather is a short-term phenomena. Whereas climate is a long-term phenomena. Okay, basically they both are related with the atmospheric condition. Okay, so now understand these things by the example. Suppose I ask you, just tell me the weather of the place, and you look out into your window, and then you see there was a sunshine. So you told me there is a clear weather or hot weather. Got it? But in some case, when I ask you what is the weather outside your home or outside your place, then again you look out of your window and you see there was a cloudy weather or rainy weather. So both the hot or clear weather or cloudy weather or rainy weather is a atmospheric condition. Okay, but it is just for a short duration. Means during daytime there was a sunshine, in evening there was a cloudy weather. Okay, so in just span of hours, the atmospheric conditions get changed from sunshine to the cloudy weather. Got it? So it is an example of weather. Alright. But if I ask you, like two people, one is living Jaisalmer area of Rajasthan, and the another one live in Monsoon of Meghalaya. Jaisalmer lies at Thar Desert and Monsoon is famous for the highest rainfall. Okay, so if there are two persons, one belongs from Jaisalmer, Rajasthan and second one belongs from Monsoon, Meghalaya, I ask them what about the atmospheric condition at your places, then that person will tell me there is a hot and dry conditions. And this person will tell me there is a cold and rainy conditions. Okay, even if you ask about for the 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 5 day, 4 day, 6 day, these conditions will continue to exist for a long, and they are the long-term phenomena which we call the climatic conditions. Got it? So here I hope you have understand the concept of the climate and the weather. Okay, now let's have a look over monsoon. What do you mean by monsoon? Okay, in India we have listened a term of monsoon many times. So the first thing is, what do we mean by monsoon basically? Okay. So the monsoon is an Arabic word. Basically, monsoon is an Arabic word. Arabic word Monsoon. Arabic word Monsoon, which means seasons. Okay. So monsoon basically derived from an Arabic word monsoon, which means seasons, and monsoon seasons referred as a rainy seasons. Is a rainy season. Okay. So basically, in India, we have 5 types of seasons, like the summer season, first, thereafter spring, first summer, thereafter rainy, thereafter autumn, thereafter winter, thereafter spring. Okay, and after spring again the summer season starts, and this all runs as a cycle. Okay, so the monsoon basically belongs to this part from rainy seasons. All right, so now let's start. It is a basic introduction of the monsoon. It is a reversible of winds that brings about a distinct wet and dry period. What do you mean by reversible of winds? Let's understand from this phenomena. Okay, so here you can see there is a flow of winds. These winds, there is a flow of winds towards the land portion, and from where they are coming? From the oceanic part. Okay, from the oceanic part. Now let's understand in detail. Monsoon season. Indian monsoon occurs in the summer months, typically from June to September, characterized by the onset of the southwest monsoon winds, which bring heavy rainfall to most parts of India. Okay. So here I have told you that these are the reversible movement of winds. And why? Just suppose it is a land of South India. It is a land of South India. It is a Bay of Bengal. Then it is an Arabic Sea. So basically what happened? There is a 2 properties of land and sea. For first property, which is the property of land, heats up early and cools down early. Then there is a property of water, or you can say ocean, heats up slowly and cools down slowly. Okay, so just remember these 2 properties. Land heats up earlier and cools down early, whereas the ocean heats up slowly and cools down slowly. So basically what happened during the months of summer? These are the watering part, oceanic part. Okay, and this is the land part. During the month of summer, that land area get heat up. Okay, and here is one more thing which you should know. It's flow of winds always high to low. Remember this flow, high to low. Okay, if this area has a high pressure and this area has a low pressure, then winds always flow from high to low direction. Okay, just remember this. And how it works here, like land which heats up earlier than the oceanic water. creates a low pressure. Creates a low pressure. And the oceanic water, which is cooler in comparison with the land, creates a high pressure. And how it's creating? Remember, whenever the things get heats up, air become thinner. And whenever air becomes thinner, creates low pressure. But when air is cooler, it always a thicker and creates high pressure. Okay, so on land, when it gets heat up, it creates a thinner air or a low pressure. But in the ocean, when it's cooler, creates a thicker air and the high pressure. And as I have told you, there is always a flow from high to low. Similar things happen here. So the wind is starting towards land part. Moves towards land part from oceans. Got it? And when they are moving, due to the process of evaporation, you know what is evaporation? Basically, just take an example. Suppose you put a water in the bowl. Actually, we will discuss the evaporation detail in this science chapter. Just remember one thing. If you put a water in bowl and put it on the terrace of your house, then after some time, this bowl will be empty. And this water will be evaporated because of heat. Okay. So, due to the phenomena of evaporation, which means the conversion of liquid into gaseous form. We will discuss it later in the science chapter. Just remember the few points here. During evaporations, the liquid things get changed into the gaseous form. And the similar things happen with the winds coming from ocean to the water. They cover the evaporation or the water droplets from sea. Okay. And when they reach the land part, the water droplets change into the rain. And that's how the monsoons create. Okay. So this is the general introduction and general overview over the mechanism of the monsoon. Now, let's understand it through the map or with the help of maps. Okay. So here, you can see there is a map on this slide. All right. So, this is an oceanic area. This is an oceanic area, and the oceanic area has a high pressure. The oceanic area has a high pressure. And that area is basically a land area which has a low pressure. And as I have told you, there is always a flow from high to low. Okay. So, in this diagram, you can see there is a flow of winds. These flow of winds which are coming from the oceanic part to the land area because of this phenomena. Okay. And when these winds will travel from the ocean to the land due to evaporation, they create the water droplets. Okay. And in more specific terms, water vapor at first, which get changed into the water droplets due to the process of condensation. Condensation, basically you can say. Okay. So evaporation is a process of conversion of water or liquid into gaseous form, whereas condensation is a process of converting gaseous form into the liquid form. Okay. And when the water droplets, basically the water vapor, change into the water droplets, they take a form of rain. And that's how a season of rain creates, which is called as monsoon. Okay. So here you can see the monsoon is primarily driven by the differential heating of landmass and oceans, as I have told you. Okay. So the only question is, does monsoon only creates on Indian land? Does monsoon only creates on Indian land? As we know that monsoon has a great impact in India in comparison with the other parts, like in comparison with the other areas of Indian subcontinent and southern Asia. So what is the reason behind that only India benefited the most in comparison with the other parts of Central Asia and Southern Asia? So the reason is this line. The reason is this line. Basically, as you can see, which we call Tropic of Cancer. And how these lines help India to get a benefit of the monsoon? So we could understand it from here. We could understand it from here. On Earth, there is a three main lines. The first one is the Tropic of Cancer. Middle one is an equator. And the last one is the Tropic of Capricorn. Tropic of Capricorn. So basically what happened? This part of Earth receive a most of the sunshine. Most of the sunshine. Okay. This part of Earth, which we call as equator. Okay. And here there is a ITCZ. There is a ITCZ, and ITCZ stands for Intertropical Convergence Zone. So it is a definition of ITCZ. Okay, Intertropical Convergence Zone. Got it? So this ITCZ basically creates at equator and then it shifts towards north to the Tropic of Cancer during the summer months, and then to the Tropic of Capricorn during the winter months. Okay? Because here creates a high pressure due to the sunshine, and then there is a low pressure. So the ITCZ get shifted to this side during summer months and to this during winter months. Got it? The next question is, how does ITCZ functions and what is its significance during the Indian monsoon? Okay. Basically, ITCZ creates an immense low pressure. ITCZ creates a immense low pressure, and it is like a line. Okay, so when it creates a low pressure, winds from different areas are getting converged into it. And most of the winds are coming from oceanic water surface. And due to the process of evaporation, they are bringing water vapors with them. Okay. And when these winds get converged here, so winds of that areas is highs of moisture or contain the largest amount of moisture. Okay. So basically, the ITCZ converges at the Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer. And because Tropic of Cancer crosses the India in the middle, so the ITCZ creates a path for winds to converge at the northern part of India. At the northern part of India, as you can see. Okay, so that is the reason why the India gets the most of the benefit of the monsoon in comparison with the Central Asian regions, because ITCZ creates here, whereas the Central Asian regions and other South Asian regions and other South Asian regions does not get a benefit of ITCZ, and due to this the winds does not get converged here the most. Got it? Now come to the next point. During summer, the landmass of India heats up rapidly, creating low pressure over the region. Meanwhile, the surrounding oceans maintain a relatively cooler temperature, creating high pressure. As I have told you earlier, I am repeating it again so that you could understand it better. If this is in southern India, here is an Arabian Sea, here is a Bay of Bengal. According to the statement, this gets heats up early, and this area heats up slowly. Okay, and due to this, the winds move from ocean to the land part, and also because of the ITCZ. Okay, as a result, most air from the Indian Ocean is drawn towards the low pressure area over India, bringing in the southwest monsoon winds. Okay, so remember one thing, there is a division of Indian monsoon known as the first part known as the southwest monsoon, the second part known as the retreating monsoon. So what is the difference between the southwest monsoon and the retreating monsoon? So what's the difference between the southwest monsoon and the retreating monsoon? Okay, so let's understand the difference between the southeast and the retreating monsoon. Southwest monsoon and the retreating monsoon. So if you look at the map of India, so the winds flows in this direction and this direction. Okay, here is a Bay of Bengal and here is a Arabian Sea. Okay, flows from this direction and this direction. Moreover, we could understand it better from this map. Okay, so as you can see, the winds are flowing towards this direction, or also you can consider it as this direction. Okay, they are going towards this direction, and the second waves goes to this direction, and thereafter they march towards this direction. Okay, so this is our first monsoon type, which we called as a southwestern or southwest monsoon. It is our southwest monsoon. Okay, because they are moving from the southwest direction. Okay, there are four directions basically: north, south, east, west. In middle of it, we also have four directions: northeast, southeast, similarly southwest, northwest. Okay. So by remembering this map, you can understand that there is four direction: north, then south, then east, then west. Okay. And there is four other directions: northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. Okay. And because the winds are coming from this area, so that's why this is called as the southwest monsoon. This is called as the southwest monsoon. Got it? Southwest monsoon. Okay. So this is all about the southwest monsoon. Now remember one thing. Remember one thing here. If you look at the map carefully, the winds going here, then here, northern parts, southern part and northern parts. That region which is a form of Eastern Ghats and primarily the area of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. This area does not getting any of the branch of the southwest monsoon. First branch goes to western side, second branch goes to eastern, thereafter they took left turn and come to the northern part. But that area of Eastern Ghats, primarily considered as the Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh, does not get any of this branch. Okay. So here you can write down that during the southwest monsoons, state of Andhra, Telangana and Tamil Nadu does not get a sufficient rainfall. Does not get a sufficient rainfall. Okay. Does not get a sufficient rainfall. Got it? And basically the southwest monsoon, comes during summer months. Basically the months of June, July, August. Okay. So during the summer months, these areas, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana and Tamil Nadu, does not get a sufficient rainfall because they does not lies in the path of southwest monsoon. Got it? So how do they receive the rainfall? How do they receive the rainfall is the next question. Okay. So now let's begin with the next question. Right? Remember, I have told you that there is a two properties of land and sea. Land gets heats up earlier and goes down earlier, whereas sea gets heats up slowly and cools down slowly. Similar thing happened here. During summer months, lands get heats up, creates a low pressure, and the southern or the sea points gets a high pressure and cooler areas. So that's why winds move from land to sea. That's why winds move from land to sea part. Okay. But with the beginning of the winters, mainly in the months of last September, October, November, and December. Okay. So during these months, this sea get heats up and creates a low pressure, whereas land get cools down, creates a high pressure. And we know there is a general flow from high to low. Okay. And due to this, the winds start flow reversible. First, they move from ocean to land, and now they are moving from land to the ocean. Okay. And this phenomena is known as the retreating monsoon. It's known as the retreating monsoon. Because now the monsoon winds are get reversed and flowing from land to sea. Okay. So during winter months, the winds comes back to the sea and they move from this part. Because of this, the Eastern Ghat receives rainfall, and mainly the areas of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and the Tamil Nadu. Okay, because now the winds are getting reverse. Got it? So this is about the southwestern monsoon and the retreating monsoon. Remember one thing also, the months southwest monsoon comes in the months of June, July, and August. Whereas retreating monsoon arrives during months of late September, October, November, and December. Got it? And remember one thing also. Retreating monsoon, also known as northeast monsoon. Why? Because if you remember the chart which we have just made about the directions, like the north, like the south, like the west, like the east, like the northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast. So these winds are going this direction, coming from the northeast direction. So that's why retreating monsoon, also called as northeast monsoon. Okay, so I hope now you have understand the beginning of the monsoon. Now let's come to the onset and advancement. The onset of the monsoon varies across different parts of India. Kerala, its southern western region, is the first to experience the monsoon rains, usually around the end of May or earlier June. This is known as the onset of monsoon or southwest monsoon arrival. Okay, so now understand the fact. Understand the fact. Okay, so this is Bay of Bengal. This is Arabian Sea. Okay, so when the southwest monsoon hits the land, first it hits that area which belongs to the area of Kerala state. Of Kerala state. So remember first thing, Kerala is the first place in India which received the monsoon, or basically the southwest monsoon arrival. Okay, and basically the arrival of the monsoon varies differently. Like how? Let's understand it. Like the winds are coming from this direction, from the southwest directions, and first they hitting the South India, and South India mostly the area of Kerala, and this area always fed up by the retreating monsoon, as we have discussed. Okay, so the area of Kerala received the first rainfall from the southeast monsoon. Okay, whereas the second wave, which goes from this direction and thereafter changing this direction. Okay, this second wave first hit the Bengal region, then it marched towards, we can make the flow of it like this. First they hit the West Bengal, then they move toward Bihar, thereafter Uttar Pradesh, okay, and other regions. Whereas these winds start moving towards north and hits the area of Maharashtra, Karnataka, Gujarat, Rajasthan, later Punjab and Haryana. Got it? So that's why the arrival of the monsoon depends upon the location of the place. If the location lives in the south, then they receive the monsoon earlier than the northern parts of India. Got it? Now come to our next point. From Kerala, the monsoon progresses northward and covers the entire Indian subcontinent over the following weeks. The advancement of the monsoon is closely monitored by the Indian Meteorological Department, in short named as IMD, to predict its arrival and intensity in the different regions. Okay, as we have discussed, it is South India. Monsoon hits from Kerala south and moves northwards, and another ways moves parallel to the India, then enters into the northern plains. Okay, leaving that place, which basically receive rainfall from the retreating monsoon. Got it? And this whole procedure, like when the monsoon will hit this year, how much rainfall, flood-related alerts, drought-related alerts, and all other such things are generally made by Indian Meteorological Department, in short IMD. Got it? Okay, now let's move to the other parts. Rainfall distribution. The Indian monsoon brings a significant amount of rainfall to various regions. Coastal areas and the northeastern states generally receive higher rainfall compared to the inland areas. Remember one thing, with ongoing of waves, or you can say monsoon winds, the amount of water vapors get reduced. Okay, so with ongoing of monsoon winds, the amount of water vapors get reduced. So basically we could understand it like, if you see here in the map of India, when monsoon enters in India from the Kerala, it has a highest moisture content, and by hitting Kerala, it start moving northward. Okay, and during this region of Western Ghats, which are elevated regions, the winds get struck. Like these are the winds of monsoon, and because of the elevated areas of the Western Ghats, the winds get struck, and most of the rainfall occurs at Western Ghats and the Kerala region of India. Okay, and when after losing the moisture content, it hits the northern parts. Okay, so it is like the first branch of southwest monsoon, which hits the Kerala and then starts moving upward. Got it? Now, what's about the second branch? Now the question is, what's about the second branch? the second branch of southwestern monsoon which enters in India from these regions and then moves like this. Okay, so it first hits the northeastern states. Northeastern states. And in northeastern state, the state of Meghalaya. The state of Meghalaya received the highest rainfall, especially the region of Monsoon. Highest rainfall in the world, especially the region of Monsoon. Got it? And how it's possible? Basically, what happened? The northeastern states also has an elevated areas, and especially in Meghalaya. In Meghalaya, there are three hills named as Garo, Khasi, Jaintia. There are three hills. Okay, like this. These three hills stuck the monsoonal winds between them. Okay, due to this area received the highest rainfall because winds could not move in other directions. Okay, and the cloud bursting, which means the highest or the heavy rainfall occurs here because these three hills, Garo, Khasi, Jaintia, stop the flow of monsoonal winds going towards this side, and due to this area received the highest rainfall. Okay, and as I have told you, with the ongoing of the monsoonal winds, they start losing their moisture content. Because when they start from the ocean and hits the land, they give most of the moisture here, then here, then here, and then here. Okay, so with the ongoing during inland, it starts losing moisture content. Okay, due to this, there is an uneven distribution of rainfall, like the northeastern sides and the southern India receive the highest rainfall, whereas the northeastern part and the northwestern part receive the low rainfall. Sorry, eastern and the northern part and the northwestern part receive the low rainfall in comparison with the northeast and the southern rainfall. Okay, and the area of eastern side basically called it Eastern Ghats, does not receive rainfall during the summer months or southwest monsoon. They receive the rainfall only in the retreating monsoon. Got it? Now, the western coast, particularly the Western Ghat, receive abundant rainfall due to orographic lifting. What do you mean by orographic lifting? Suppose this is a huge mountain. The winds are coming from this direction. Hit the mountain. By hitting it, they start moving upward and then they start raining. Okay. Because of this, there most of the moisture get loose. Okay, and this process is called as orographic lifting. So when the winds hit the mountainous part, start moving upward, causing rain and losing their moisture. Got it? Northwestern part of India, region including the Thar Desert, received the lowest rainfall. Why? Remember when we were discussing about the Aravalli, I had told you that Aravalli lies in this direction. Basically in this directions. Okay. And the southwest monsoon chain coming from this goes southwest monsoon chains coming from this side goes parallel to it. Okay, and does not cause rainfall here. Due to this area of northwest is a dry area, or a, you can say, desert area, because it received relatively less rainfall, and the reason we have discussed. Okay, now the importance of the monsoon. Basically, Indian economy comprise nearly about 45% to 50% agriculture sector. Okay, if there are 100% of workforce and resources, then out of 100%, 45 to 50% resources are employed in agriculture sector. Okay, and in agriculture sector, irrigation activities means watering the crops for their better production is an essential part, and still India is lacking in the irrigation facilities. Okay, due to this we are highly depend on monsoon for irrigation of farm fields. Okay, so that's why the monsoon is a very important part for the agriculture point of view. Okay, as it is associated with the high agricultural productivity, while a weak or delayed monsoon can lead to a drought and crop failure because we do not have a sufficient means of irrigation. So if monsoon does not come on the right time, then various crops would face a water scarcity and their production would be a weak production. Got it? Come to the next point. Southwest monsoon and the northeast monsoons we have already discussed so far. Okay, here you can just remember it. Monsoon is divided into two phases, the southwest and the northeast. Southwest monsoon described above brings rain during the summer months. Okay, we have discussed the both in the detail in the previous slides. Okay, now remember, Indian monsoon is a lifeline for millions of people. Its proper prediction and management are essential for water resources, planning agriculture, and overall economic activities. Because in India, water distribution is not equal. Okay, due to this, some areas have huge water resources and some areas has low water resources. Okay, so the areas who having a low water resources are largely depend upon the monsoon because they store rainwater in tanks, in terrace, in wells. Okay, so that's why the monsoon is very essential from the water resource planning point of view and also for the agriculture. And because we have 45% to 50% share of agriculture in our economy, so also for the economic activities of the country. Okay, so remember one thing, here we have finished the monsoon part of India, and as I have told you during the summer months, because of the monsoon, the north area of the India received the rainfall. But some phenomena also happened during the winter time. During the winter time, some parts of North India, especially the northwestern part, received the rainfall. And what is the reason behind this? Western disturbances. The reason behind this is Western disturbances. Okay, what is the western disturbances? During the winter time, the western part of the world faces cyclonic activities. We will discuss it later. What about the cyclonic activities? Okay, and due to this, the moisture come up in the air, and because air flows towards eastern side, the air reaches India and causes rainfall. Okay, so this rainfall is basically done because of western disturbances. Okay, so here we have finished the monsoon part of India. Okay, in our next lecture we will start with the natural resources. Till then, thank you.